I just think we're here once on this planet. And if you're not going to be here and be who and what you are, why be here? And if you're spending an inordinate amount of energy running from yourself, then why are you doing that? And
Do you feel like that's something most of the population is doing?
Well, enough.
Yeah.
Enough of the population. Enough. I mean, it's my area of expertise. It's my business, so I see it more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So what to you is the importance of authenticity?
If you want to make a unique statement in life, you have to come from a unique place within yourself. Mm-hmm. And there are reasons why people don't do that. Very, very, very. Sometimes they know it. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's conscious, unconscious, subconscious, or unconscious.
Maybe a combination. Yeah.
And it has to do with how do you feel about who and what you are. It doesn't, people are always on the ladder to climb, to improve. So am I. We're all on the ladder to improve. But I think we should all be students of life, for life. I think you have to be in this to learn. You've got to be in this, you got to be on this planet to learn. Now, hear that statement because I want to do something with it. Actors, and this goes, I think, in any profession, but I'm talking about artisans for a moment. They come to class and they educate, which is great. My actors do that a lot. They come from me for years, many times. I think educating yourself is your job. It's your job. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. You don't educate yourself because you're a piece of shit loser.
Right. So you're not doing it as a way to catch up to redeem yourself.
Yeah, but if actors come in with such low self-esteem and they don't deal with the low self-esteem, they don't deal with that. They're in it for life, but they're never catching up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, I've been there, yeah. The difference of coming into class with the intention of being a student just because being a student is enough, and that's what we're here to do, versus the I gotta just fix this problem with myself so that I can finally get there kind of a mentality. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about the mentality that you're always in deficit. If you're always in deficit, then you're going to be always in deficit. Mm-hmm. I think that you got to be learning because you're hungry for life.
Yeah.
Not because you're always in deficit. It's a mindset about the same exact education.
Right. And that's such an important distinction to make. Educating is what we do here.
You must do it.
Right.
And you must do it obsessively.
Mm-hmm.
Does the motivation of your education come from that you're always in deficit?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what I see when I'm working with some actors. I'm like, you could be here for 1,000 years. You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Because in 1,000 years from now, you're still going to be in deficit because that's where your mind is. Now,
it's like changing gears on the car. If you don't change the gears, you're going to always be in that gear no matter where you're going.
No matter where you go. And so that has to do with a poverty consciousness or some kind of... And so we got to deal with the ego reconstruction. So the person is actually feeling good about themselves. Now, from this place of feeling full and excited, they need to learn. Mm-hmm. It's not about not learning.
Right. It's like an automatic state of being when you're kind of in that expansive state. You want to grow and expand.
I know this woman. She's been teaching this work for another country many years, over a decade now. And she's wonderful. She's really wonderful. And she goes, I gotta learn. You know what I mean? Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm like, yeah, this is exciting, as opposed to, oh, Anthony,
Well, I feel like when I showed up at your workshop a year and a half ago, I was very much coming from a deficit mentality. Mm-hmm. That was kind of my primary, state of consciousness, I guess, in that moment with being with you. There was definitely the true desire to grow and expand, which is what brought me there. But in that moment, that's kind of what was present. That's what was actually locking me from being there and growing, because I was so hell-bent on making a good impression, or getting somewhere. I remember you saying to me, like, just there's nowhere to be right now, Michael. Like, you don't have to go anywhere. And in my head, I'm like, I gotta get to New York or LA or somewhere. I gotta make something of myself. And you're like, dude, like, we're just here right now in Bill Cooper's studio, and that's where you are. And when you said that, I was like, it kind of gave me permission to just
be.
I was like,
And not do.
oh, I can.
Yeah.
This is good. This is okay.
Here.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the sound of the chickens.
Yeah, it's soothing.
This is not what I get in New York City or Manhattan. This is not what I hear on the Lower East Side.